Welcome to Wrong Time Watch. My name is Kevin, and today we're looking at the second hour Gen Clear Diver. This one that I have is black dial with the black bezel and the guild indices and hands. Before we get into this, let's just look at the box it comes in real quickly. It's a nice leather travel case here. It has a spot for two watches, one on the top and the bottom. Comes with a cleaning cloth and a screwdriver, which I probably should have used this one when I sized it, but I didn't. And looks like a spring bar tool in there. So nice that they included that with the watch. So in summary, I actually like this watch. I like it pretty well overall. There's just a few issues with it, which we'll get into towards the end of the video. So as I mentioned, this has the guild hands. I really come to appreciate this black and guild combination. I had purchased a Zelo swordfish with the black sand dial, which similar colors to this, and found that I really liked these colors. So the retail price for this is 780 Australian dollars, which as of today is about 565 US dollars. You can pre-order this on their website. If you sign up for email, you get a 20% rebate. So definitely would take advantage of that if you would like to buy this watch. Bezel action is very nice on this, and it has the loomed ceramic bezel insert. It is, of course, 120 click bezel. Has a domed sapphire crystal with AR coating. This actually has 6 layers of AR coating. It is, of course, all 316L stainless steel. Bezel, bracelet, case back, everything. Basically, all dive watches now are 316L stainless steel. So let's go over the dimensions on this. This is a little bit of by today's standard, a little bit of a smaller watch, but for my wrist, it works really well. The lug to lug on this is 49 millimeter, and the center links are female links, so they fold down. They don't have the male links that stick out farther. It does extend the lug to lug a little bit, but it's really not that much. So since we're in this view right here, the thickness on this is 13.5. The case diameter, I measured from here to here. That is 41.5. And the bezel actually sticks out proud of the case. So the bezel is 42.5 millimeter. It has 22 millimeter lug width, and this bracelet tapers nicely down to 18 millimeter. I now have come to fully appreciate tapered bracelets. I have some watches with just a straight bracelet, and they don't feel as comfortable as a tapered bracelet. So this has solid links, solid end links. It has a milled clasp. The bracelet feels great on this watch. I don't have any complaints about the bracelet. It has the milled clasp, and it has 6 micro adjusts. Now I did size this bracelet for my 6.5 inch wrist, and I removed all of the links. So it's just a standard H-link bracelet, but it feels great. It's brushed on the top, brushed on the bottom, and polished on the sides here. These screw heads are nice and large. I actually use my 1.4 millimeter slotted screwdriver, but I probably could have used an even larger one. So that helps with sizing this and not stripping the screw heads. This does have a textured dial. Can't really see that with the studio light, so let me shine a flashlight on it here. So there you can see it has a kind of like a sandpaper finish. So it looks similar to my Zelos in that regard. I'll do a comparison video between those two. Not exactly the same styling, but similar coloring. So it does have a engraved case back, which it's not really a priority for me, but it's kind of a nice feature. It doesn't feel rough on the wrist or anything. It feels nice and smooth, unlike my Zelo swordfish. So there's a sea turtle on the back there. So back to the dial, it has 8 layers of BGW9 Lume applied to the hands and the indices, also to that ceramic bezel insert, I believe. So it does have a screw down crown. Obviously, this watch is rated to 200 meters of water resistance. It is an engraved crown. It's quite detailed, actually. It does feel a little rough, but you're not going to really be feeling that. Yeah, this is overall, is for the most part a good looking watch. I do have two complaints about the looks of it. Oh yeah, so one big thing, bonus here, or a good thing to note here, is that it has a Swiss movement. It has a Solita, a regulated Swiss Solita SW200. So this watch has great specs. It has the ceramic bezel insert, the sapphire crystal with AR coating applied to the underside. It has a Swiss movement, solid bracelet, solid end links. It has a lot of good specs for the money. So I did purchase this from Kickstarter. I delayed for a few minutes and I did not get the super early bird special price. But that's the way it goes. I was actually, the reason why I was going back and forth, and we'll get into this in a moment here, but these indices here I didn't really like the way that it looked in pictures. Actually, we'll just talk about it now. I didn't like the way it looked in pictures, and I was going back and forth on buying it because I don't care for the layout of the indices, and I thought that the specs in the watch would sway my opinion, but it just doesn't. As great as this watch is, these indices bug the heck out of me. They really do. I don't know why, but I'm just so used to having the 4 quadrants and not these 3 sectors here, or whatever you want to call it. I mean, it does have 3 circle indices, 3 circles, 3 circles, and then you have the 3 what do we call that? Trapezoidal indices. It just it really bugs me. I don't know why, but it does. So, as great as this watch is, I'm going to be selling it. And they do offer a date window version of this watch. And in my unboxing, I said the date window was at the 6, but it's not. It's at the 4. That was why I didn't buy the date window, because it just even completely more throws this thing off. Having a date window at the 3 o'clock, and then you have these trapezoidal indices here. If they would have put it at the 6 o'clock, it would have been a little more appealing. But anyway, speaking of the date window, they do offer this watch with the date window, different color bezels, different color dials, different styles. One's enamel, then they have a sunburst dial, and then this textured dial. If I was looking at it correctly, they have over 30 variations, I think 33 variations on their website of this watch. I do kind of wish I went with the green bezel insert, but doesn't really matter because I'm not keeping it anyway. Like I said, I will be listing this for sale soon. Actually, I have a couple other watches that I'm going to be selling, so I may do a sale video here soon. Oh, and then since I mentioned the other thing that bugged me, The logo is, I think, a bit big compared to the text on the dial. I don't mind the logo, I just think it's a little bit too big. And the third thing that bugs me is, yes, it has a Swiss movement, but it has the ghost state position. So this is the hand winding position. And then the next, oops, I went too far. Okay, so, sorry, this is hand winding. I was already in the ghost state position. So the first pop out is hand winding. And then this is the ghost state. So what that means is, even though the dial is not cut out for the date, there is still a date wheel on this watch. So I'm actually turning the date wheel here. It's not really a big complaint. It's just something unnecessary, and in my engineering mind thinks that you'd want to eliminate that unnecessary thing. I'm sure that there is a Solita without the date. So anyway, here's the hand setting position. And it is hacking, of course. I don't even mind that pop of red on here. So you have the red tip seconds hand, which matches the red down there. Let's see if I can read that red text. There we go. 200 meters, 600 feet. Gen clear automatic. Second hour. These Guild applied indices are very nicely done. I like the bezel. There's a lot that I like about this watch, but it doesn't overweigh the indice placement on here. So anyway, let's get this on wrist. I was planning on saving my complaints for the end, but I just kind of had to let it out. So here we go. Like I said, I removed all the bracelet links, and I left it on the first micro adjust position, or the last one, however you want to look at it. This is how it came from the factory. So it actually is a tad bit snug on my wrist. I probably would put one link back in and then adjust the micros. But you have plenty of micro adjustment there to play around with. So again, I have a 6.5 inch wrist with a 52 millimeter wristband, and the lug to lug on this is 49. So I think this looks, yeah, it's a little big on my wrist, but I still think it looks okay. It's a dive watch, so I'm okay with them being a little larger. I tend to wear my watch right about there. If they ever change the dial, or if they go to a 369 indice thing with the 12 o'clock, that would be fine with that. I would probably buy one again. So hopefully I can sell this one. So just looking at my notes here, there's one thing I didn't mention, is the crown is also a nice size at 7 millimeter. It's very easy to use. It is a knurled crown here. Crown guards look nice. It is mostly a brushed case, but the edges here, the bevels are nicely polished, and it actually widens out as you come down the case, which I have not seen that before on a watch. So to my eye, it looks very nicely finished. So yeah, let's get into the Lume here. Bring out my trusty Seiko and hit these with the UV light, and I'll be right back with the Lume. All right, so the second hour Gen Clear diver is on the left, and the Seiko SKX 009 is on the right. Kind of laughing here because Lume on this thing is pretty crazy. It's actually quite impressive. Still not quite enough to have me keep this watch, but it's quite impressive. Still brighter than the SKX. It's a nice blue color as well too, so it's not, at least I don't see this as common as often, this blue color lume. Alright, so as always, thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel. I have a lot more videos planned to come out. And as always, appreciate your support. Talk to you later.